The life of every individual, viewed as a whole and in general, and when only its most significant features are emphasized, is really a tragedy, but gone through in detail it has the character of a comedy. Almost all of our sorrows spring out of our relations with other people. There is no more mistaken path to happiness than worldliness. The safest way of not being very miserable is not to expect to be very happy. Buying books would be a good thing if one could also buy the time to read them, but as a rule the purchase of books is mistaken for the appropriation of their contents. The shortness of life, so often lamented, may be the best thing about it. If I maintain my silence about my secret, it is my prisoner. If I let it slip from my tongue, I am its prisoner. Every parting gives a foretaste of death, every reunion a hint of the resurrection. A high degree of intellect tends to make a man unsocial. Compassion for animals is intimately associated with goodness of character, and it may be confidently asserted that he who is cruel to animals cannot be a good man. Great men are like eagles, and build their nest on some lofty solitude. We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. All truth passes through 3 stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. Third, it is accepted as self-evident. The person who writes for fools is always sure of a large audience. Thus, the task is not so much to see what no one yet has seen, but to think what nobody yet has thought about that which everybody sees. Mostly it is loss which teaches us about the worth of things. No rose without a thorn, but many a thorn without a rose. A man can be himself only so long as he is alone, and if he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom, for it is only when he is alone that he is really free. Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world. Religion is the masterpiece of the art of animal training, for it trains people as to how they shall think. Hope is the confusion of the desire for a thing with its probability. Marrying means to halve one's rights and double one's duties. I have not yet spoken my last word about women. I believe that if a woman succeeds in withdrawing from the mass, or rather raising herself from above the mass, she grows ceaselessly and more than a man. Wealth is like sea water. The more we drink, the thirstier we become, and the same is true of fame. If we were not also interested in ourselves, life would be so uninteresting that none of us would be able to endure it. Life swings like a pendulum backward and forward between pain and boredom. He who writes carelessly confesses thereby at the very outset that he does not attach much importance to his own thoughts. The business of the novelist is not to relate great events, but to make small ones interesting. Reading is thinking with someone else's head instead of one's own. Ordinary people merely think how they shall spend their time. A man of talent tries to use it.